Hello, community. My name is Diana. I am on our AI services team here at Benchling, and today I am here to talk to you all about Benchling out-of-the-box skills. So first and foremost, what is a skill? A skill is a reusable file that gives Benchling AI agents persistent context and instructions so you can capture what works once and apply it reproducibly across your future tasks. Where can we find skills within Benchling? If you head on over to your Benchling tenant and go to the AI module, you should be able to see a gear icon here. That is your AI settings. Once you click into that and you go beneath your general settings, you will be able to see your skills. So here you can see that I have my skills, which are skills that I have imported into Benchling myself, but then you can also see these shared with me, and this is where the Benchling out-of-the-box skills live. So the first out-of-the-box Benchling skill we're going to discuss is the report writing skill. And so the report writing skill kicks in when a scientist asks for help drafting or structuring a lab report, experiment summary, or results write-up. The agent knows to follow Benchling's formatting conventions and pulls in the right entry context. So here you can see within my skill that I have my description of when the skill needs to be used and under what circumstances. And then I also have templates of the different kinds of reports that I can get. And if I were to get that kind of report, what kind of instructions I would want my skill to follow. So I have an example of this already that I have run. Here you can see in one of my chats that I prompted the chat and said, write a report for study stab 1. That's all I had to say, just one line. And immediately, because I used the word report, the first thinking step was using the report writing skill within Benchling. And so instead of writing a huge description of what I needed to be done, all I had to do was write that sentence, and then all of the context from my skill that I have pre-created already shows up within your chat. So here I have a report for stab 1, and it goes based off of what my skill asked the format to be. At the very bottom of the report, you'll be able to see that I have citations and sources, and then also the option to save the report in whatever form that I would like. So that's one of the perks of using the report writing skill, is all of those descriptions are already input for you and ready to use on your Benchling tenant. The second out-of-the-box skill I would like to talk about is the data import skill. So the data import skill is triggered when a user uploads an external file with the intent to bring it into Benchling. Think CRO reports, CDMO batch records, vendor COAs, or instrument exports. The agent creates a new notebook entry, populates structured tables, links entity chips to existing registry records, and attaches the source file. It's built to handle large, complex documents, 50+ page reports included. So you'll be able to see that on my other tab, I have a handwritten batch record here. It's about 23 pages, all handwritten, a lot of tables. What I can do now within Benchling is when I head to my chat, you'll see that I've already run one of these batch records. So all I had to write here was transcribe this batch record into this entry. And so it did all the thinking steps. And then here to my right, I have the batch record I just showed you, but instead within a Benchling entry with all of those tables filled. And the instructions were taken specifically from my batch record skill. And last but not least, I have the data analysis skill. So this is the last Benchling out-of-the-box skill that is offered. The skill is used best when you want to have Benchling AI analyze your experimental results, run statistical tests, fit models, generate visualizations, and surface batch effects, so you can interpret findings without having to leave your notebook. This example we will be doing live. So you will see here that I do have an experiment that I've already done in an entry within Benchling, and it's comparing compound X and Y, and I ran an activation assay against them, and now I would like to see a dose response curve. But in my entry itself, I just have the data back from my activation assay. So I have the concentration, the replicate, the percent activity, and then the compound that was used. So what I can do here is I can go to my AI chat. I can start a new chat, and I can write something along the lines of create a report of this DRC for compound X and Y experiment that I had. And then I'll go ahead and run that report. And so here we will see that Benchling is doing its thinking steps, but the first thinking step here is that it's going to invoke the report writing skill because I did use the word report. So that is the first step that it uses. And then you'll see the second skill that it used was the data analysis skill. And that is because I had a dose response curve that I would like to have been created in my entry. And so Benchling was able to pick that up and then create the report of the experiment for me. So here I have the report writing skill being used. And then a little bit below, I get the dose response curve. And so this was created using the data analysis skill. And so here I have a interactive curve within this report where I can see compound X and compound Y, and then see their concentration versus activation data points. At the very bottom, I still have the same exact save options, and then also the sources listed. Here you can see the experiment in which I started from, the code that was ran in order to do this, and the skills that were used within the thinking steps. Okay, that being said, so at this moment, skills are created outside of Benchling and uploaded in. The way that one uploads a skill in is pressing this blue add button. The MD, zip, or skill file gets placed within the upload skills module. That is changing. Coming soon, you'll be able to author and edit skills directly inside Benchling. No external tools, no file exports. The full creation workflow will live natively in the platform. And further down the roadmap, Benchling agents will be able to generate skills for you automatically, learning from your conversations and suggesting reusable patterns. Another upcoming piece is that today custom skills can only be archived by the person who created them. So you can see this archive button here. Tenant admins don't yet have the ability to manage skills created by an individual team member, but coming soon, sharing controls and permissions for skills will be released so admins can govern which skills are available to which teams, and organizations can scale curated skill libraries across their tenants. All right, well, I hope you found this helpful. Bye, team.